And what are your big complaints about Frieren? Because I gotta know. I'm so nervous about this
Um,
conversation.
you know, I
Give
have
us
a
some
I
backstory
have a
first.
lot to say about Frieren, and
I have a lot too.
I hate to say that it's negative. I really do hate to say that it's negative. I think there are a lot of reasons I have negative, and I don't know how I want to do this. I don't know if I want to start on my
Give
positives
us some
because
backstory.
I feel like I need to give my positives first. Um,
Give us some backstory,
I
and then
will
we'll
give
do
you
it.
a little backstory, but before I do that, Jake, why don't you explain to the shitters and maybe even to Braden the plot, like the general, so like what is Frieren, and I'll get my thoughts kind of together.
I think it's. Let me say it's a very interesting way to tell a story that I haven't exactly come across before as somebody who's reads stories pretty
Yeah.
constantly. But it's about an elf who goes. You're in her present time, but the main beginning of it is you learning that she went on a quest 60 years or 80 years in the past. I think at the very beginning it's 60
Yeah,
years
and
in the
then we get
past.
to
Or
80.
50
Yeah,
years.
it's
Yeah,
some.
50 years maybe,
I think it
somewhere in
is
there.
50 years, and then it gets.
And she went on a quest to slay the Demon King
Mhm.
with a party
Yeah, gotta get
of
rid of him.
4 travelers.
Can't,
And
can't have a demon king.
Nope.
and now you're moving to present time, and the story generally is her connecting with the human world in a different way than she did when she was younger, because she's an elf, so she doesn't understand human emotions or human lifespans correctly.
Right.
And I think the main plot
We're like
of the
ants to
present
them.
is, in a way, and she's developing and learning how to better communicate and understand with the human world.
Mhm.
But at the same
Okay.
time, you're still getting, which I enjoy, you're still getting tidbits and learning of her initial adventure with the heroes party, I think
The
is what they
hero's
call
party
them,
that
to
killed the
slay the.
demon king.
Yes.
Yes.
Straightforward.
I
Yep.
think that's
And she's going on
pretty
a new
accurate to the
journey right
backstory.
now in the modern time that has a lot of
Yes.
connections and, things that she's seeing through different
And that's
lenses
how you
all
learn
these
about
years
the
later.
original story, which
Mhm.
I think is a
And
unique
her
way
new
to tell
party
a
all
story.
have a connection with some of her other
Yes.
party, like her older party.
So what's
And
more important, the current story or the past story?
That's a great question.
both.
I'd say
I think
both.
it's both.
I think it's both. I think because, like I said, I hate to say that I didn't like this show. I did like this show. I think this show does a lot of good things. But there are some things that hurt it for me personally.
But it yeah. I mean, we can stop backstory if you want,
We're
but
gonna get
it,
there. One of the things I think is really good about it is the way it's telling the story of, like, because I like this in Monarch, the Godzilla show on Apple TV as well, where like there's things going on in the present story, and every once in a while it'll be like, here's a connection or here's like a story about the past, and it works, and you're kind of having fun going back and forth learning of like these older characters and the modern characters. They
there
do a good
is
job with that.
there's never a time where there's a flashback that I didn't love it.
See,
Every single flashback, I loved
that
it.
is
That's
where
good.
I disagree.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing. This show is full of good meaning and good messaging, and the way it's telling a story, it does a really good job. But sometimes it beats its messaging to death, to a point that I'm like rolling my eyes a little. Like, it almost became too much of her being like, "Oh, Himmel used to say that," and I'd be like, "Go fucking figure, Himmel used to say that," and we'd go like, sometimes, like,
Yeah,
a
but
lot of
Himmel's the
times the
past.
backstories were cool, but then sometimes it was just like, here's a throwaway nothing thing, and it's like, oh,
I think
somebody
that's the
100
point.
years ago said that. I know, but it's just, for me personally, I was just like, this is too much. This is
Yeah.
like, it got to a point where I was
I think it
rolling
can be
my eyes.
fair.
There is an episode, dude. Yeah, I need to do it this way. I need to go back and forth between the good things and the bad things. There is an episode near the end of the series where she goes to a restaurant with her new group, that she went to with her old group 100 years ago. And I was like, this is so fucking stupid that we got to
That
do a
is
flashback
the
for this.
Sounds compelling.
only one I will give you.
No, because
because
there are
that is
things.
that is the one I will agree with.
This is the one I
There's
rolled my
that
eye at
one,
the
and there's
most
one
because
more.
they had done it so many times a little bit throughout that I was just like, are you
It's
serious?
the same restaurant.
It's the same restaurant, and they do a flashback of when they were at this
What their
restaurant,
secret is.
and the chef at the restaurant goes, I'll tell you what, this restaurant will be just as good, if not better, in 100 years. And I was like, oh God, what are the odds he'd say that when we're constantly referring to things back and forth with this show of things that happened 100 years ago? Like, oh my God, I get it. Time is sad. But who is this
So-
for? The elves that are watching this show that can connect to this mindset? It just seemed like too much. I didn't hate it. I loved it when it like worked. Like there are flashbacks that I love a lot, but then there were just some that I was just like, they just needed to fill some fucking time in this episode. So we're
that is not where the time filling came in for me.
but you
'Cause
don't
where
know.
my
There's a
big
lot of
complaint of
time
this show
filling in
is-
this show.
Because
Fuck.
my big complaint of the show is, and poor Tori, God bless her for putting up with me for this, because I bitched about it so much.
Mhm.
But like for me, the first 13 or 14 episodes are like perfect. Genuinely, I think they are just incredible. I loved it. I cried probably 12
Yeah,
times.
that's what's
in
saying.
14
You were
episodes.
telling me you were loving it. I was like, what am I not seeing with this show?
I loved.
It took me
Yeah, I
all
think
the
I might
time.
be-
I finished the last episode today.
I might be a more emotional person than you at times, though. So
I'm
this is
emotional, but
acceptable.
this was just like I said, the
So-
messaging was too. It was.
The first that first half I thought was really, really, really good. Like I fucking loved it, dude. Where they lost me, like, cause there's the scene where she goes, and this is still early on. It's in the first half, where she has to kill the little female demon who is like taking the dead soldiers of the one city.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like that to me is like the apex of the first half of the show.
Yeah,
And I'm like, and you're learning about like how strong she is.
It's
kind of your
certainly-
first real action scene.
it's yeah, that's
You know
what I
what I'm-
mean. The show started kind of for me picking up there.
I thought that was so
And then
good.
that arc ends and it goes back to just like I don't mind a somber mood, but man, 13 episodes straight of a somber
I just
mood.
think it's
Every
I just
time it would
think-
play that down in 80 years since Symbol
See,
died
I
thing,
loved-
I'd want to fall
I
asleep.
fucking
I'd
loved
be
it.
like, oh, I'm
But I
programmed to like
knew
fall asleep.
when I was
here.
watching those parts, Tori and I were talking. I was like, Chase is gonna fucking hate this.
I-
Like I knew you were gonna hate this.
I wanted to like
Those-
it more. It was just so much. Every episode for a long time felt like a kid's show from like Hey Arnold, where you get a 15-minute one story and then a
come on.
15-minute
Hey,
other
Arnold.
story.
It's very emotional. It's very
No,
emotional.
I mean it's more emotional than that, but it's just like you'd get two stories in one episode and it would feel like that, and it just never felt like it was going for a show that's about two journeys.
You say it's not going anywhere at this point.
I felt
What do
like
you
it
think
wasn't
about
going
episode
anywhere.
17 through 27.
Dude,
Because that's where the show went fucking nowhere for me.
well, that's what I
where
mean.
bitched about
That's what I mean. It got to
incessantly.
another half. So that's the thing. I'm getting into this show as I'm watching it, and then I hit that wall
That's-
of that
That
arc,
definitely.
and I was just
I
like,
feel bad because I would hate it if I
Ugh.
had that.
and the
viewing
biggest issue
experience.
that I think I had with this show was, I think if nobody would have told me anything about it, I would have liked it more.
Right.
But I saw it had 100% around fans. There are all these glowing and then like as I'm watching it, I'm hearing like other things being like, vote for like anime of the year, like like it's in like some discussions of people's masterpieces, and I'm like, what am I not seeing? Like there's a lot of this anime that makes me go, maybe I should just read the manga. I think this would be better read because it's so slow all the time with a somber music all the time that it got to the point near the end where I was just like, I gotta watch another episode of Frieren.
I can't
Even
wait until
though-
Tori watches this.
Even though I liked it, even though it does nothing wrong. All the characters are fun. All the concepts are fun. All the things they do. The magic system's good.
I'll tell you what it does wrong.
Tell me what else it does wrong then.
The first half of that show can win every award, and I would be happy. 14 to 15, 16 episodes, it's really good.
Mhm.
It's really good.
Mhm.
I talked to a lot of people that love it. Dude, when
I
they
need to.
start the magic certification process, is maybe
That's when I
one
started
of the
sludging.
greatest.
It should
It
be
is
better.
one of the greatest foot in mouth moments I've ever. I bitched God bless Tori for watching it with me because like
I
you
think it
can
would have
say
been
that
better
nothing's
read.
happening,
I think it would
but
be
see, you
better
can say
read.
that nothing's happening in the first 15 episodes, but she picks up Fern. They
I
get
don't-
their third party member.
Yeah.
They get their third party member.
I
They're
love
progressing.
Stark. Yeah.
They're love Stark.
I
And
don't
that's-
mind a slow
we'll get to there.
start.
Let me get to Stark.
Yeah.
But they're progressing north up the country, so we're moving towards what is the goal of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in this process, Frieren multiple times.
I don't know if I
and
like
again, at
Frieren
this
as a
point,
character. I think that's
I love
another thing.
Frieren. But listen, and this is why it didn't work for you. But those
She's
first
so,
14 to 15 episodes that's happening, I fucking love it.
Ugh.
So then what do they do?
All the time.
Frieren probably 5 times says that magic certification's fucking stupid. She
Mhm.
doesn't believe in it. She doesn't care about it. So then what do? They
go and take
but
the
have to
test.
get magic certified.
Yeah.
Now, okay, if you want to do that as a little point of us progressing the story to keep going north, because they needed to be a level 1 mage to continue north.
Right.
If you want to do that, we're 2 episodes. Fuck it, 3 episodes.
At this point
here.
in the show, that's what
Buddy,
Yeah.
they did it for 10 fucking episodes.
Yeah, they did.
They did it for 10 episodes.
Took me
and
forever
they cut
to watch
Stark
it all.
out of the whole
They
show.
cut my favorite character out of the show.
Stark out of the show.
He's my favorite
Why?
character.
Why? But the show didn't need more characters. Like, that's my big complaint too. Is like the show. It just feels like it lost its way because I understand why you didn't like the first half. I didn't think you would.
No, I didn't
the show
not
was
like the first half.
But you kind of didn't like it.
No.
not built
I
on-
liked it. It's just when it got to the second, like I don't mind a slow start, but what I'm saying I agree with you is like the
I
second.
don't know if I'm gonna watch this, guys.
It made the second half so much worse because it didn't improve on that slowness. I was fine with the slowness, but then it kept staying that fucking slow the
genuinely
whole
feels like
time.
It genuinely feels like that
Whoa.
the 2 halves of the
It's a slow
show
burn
are
without
written
a
by
burn.
2 different people. It feels like it's written by 2 different people.
It's the
to
same.
me,
It's the same
because-
mangaka.
I'm sure it is, but listen, like, why the show?
It is good, though,
Nothing. Dude, the first half is fucking excellent.
I just
mean,
wish
it's
people wouldn't have
fucking
told me it was
excellent.
a masterpiece before I started it because I was like, maybe if you've never
I
watched
wonder if
anime
people
before,
finished it.
I've not like.
Like,
In a lot
but
of means,
Chase,
like, is
what
this based
the
on the
point?
manga? Like, do they know more about the story? Like, have we gotten to any point in the story?
But what is the point? My question is, what is the point of adding? Because then what I complained about to a friend about the magic certification and like why would they do this and spend so much time on it? He's like, this is what a lot of shonen animes do to add new characters. And it's
Yeah.
like, do you know what this show didn't need though?
Yeah,
This show didn't need new permanent staying characters.
yeah,
Like it didn't need, and it just dumps them on you. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden, and they separate Fern and Frieren
Right.
for like 5 episodes.
and you're following these characters that you
Fern-
don't really know, and they
He
want you to
literally
care
cuts
about them.
Frieren and Fern out of most of the episodes. Stark is completely gone.
Stark
I
is
mean,
not even
those-
involved. Yeah,
When they are in that dome, it is fucking trash.
yeah.
Like actually bad. And it's at least a little bit better when they're doing the labyrinth,
Mm-hmm.
but not
l-
much.
Dude, there was like
Not much.
they showed so they go into this labyrinth where they need to fight like copies of themselves basically, and the episode ends.
Classic.
You know Frieren. That's another
That's
thing.
a level of Baldur's Gate.
It's so derivative of stuff too that I'm just like, what is the masterpiece here? But they
literally played through that.
I've seen it
Baldur's Gate.
before.
Excellent. You gotta
I've
quit
seen
saying
it
that.
before.
The first half's
I've s-
excellent.
It's excellent, but I've seen it all before. But they go into this labyrinth, they have to fight their other selves, and the end of one episode, you see like a Frieren golem, and like you know at this point in the show that Frieren is literally the best mage in the world. So you're like, oh, that thing's gonna fuck people up. And then they talk about how they're gonna fight it for like 2 fucking episodes before they fight it. And I'm just like, just go and fight it.
What actually is really bad about that? I have spent what's actually really bad about that is a very good scene is when Frieren kills that demon, like I brought up, that
Mhm.
is
In the
controlling
first-
that city that
Mm,
she's
oh yeah,
okay.
kill yourself. Yeah.
And you learn that they call her, is she's so nice and quiet, and you learn that all the demons know her as Frieren the Slayer
Mm-hmm.
because she's such a bad motherfucker.
Right.
And you're like,
She is a badass.
That's badass,
Yeah.
right? And you keep getting hints, like you learn that she can suppress Romana and that
Mhm.
she's incredibly strong.
Yep.
And so like the problem is the appropriate way to show how strong Frieren is have her fight a really strong demon.
Mhm.
Okay? And then
Mhm.
you can slowly learn, holy fuck, she can do this, that, and the other thing. What do they do instead? They decide to have a fake Frieren who has no emotions and it just wants to kill them, show you everything Frieren can do. That's
Mhm.
what they did. They, instead of showing, hey, like there was just such a better way to do it, and instead they just
Right.
drop it on you all at once.
And have it
Here's
be
what Frieren can do, and it's not even actually Frieren.
against them.
It's
Yeah.
so bad. That is really bad. That is really bad writing.
Yeah, you typically want to see your heroes, cool villains used against the bad guys first, and not against everyone else the first time you see them.
It's dumb. It was
Yeah.
a really dumb
And
way
I think
to
a
do
lot
that.
of things people like this
Do you
is
agree?
Yeah, oh yeah, I totally agree. Because I think a lot of things people like about this
sounds dumb.
series is that it's doing something unique. And to me, it's just like, but you gotta do it like you just be like I don't think things are good for just uniqueness' sake. Like it
Chase,
has
the
to be
first half though.
I will say I like the first half more than the second. I didn't want to give it too much. It just was a little slow. It's just everything that happens in the first half that is good kind of is what makes the second half for me not as good because it just never got any like it just was so
But I think
the
what
the
I was
song
thinking
like
the
I
whole
said
time.
I think if I just read the manga I would like it more because everything would just
Dude,
move at the pace I'd want it to. There'd be no somber the music.
this is a genre of fantasy though that is coming out that is called cozy fantasy. Like
Yeah,
this is a
no,
genre
yeah,
that is
it's a very
developing.
slice of lifey, and that's fine.
It's that first half is really good, man. I fucking loved it. I didn't
Yeah,
even
I
see it
can't
as
even say
something
love. I
slow.
can't even say love. I just what I don't know. Like even the beginning concept of her just like, oh, time and people and life. God, I'm just
That's
like,
the whole point of the show, though. I
I
think that
know,
just
but
means
that's
it's
the
not
whole
for
point of
you,
a
though.
lot of like I've seen it before, and everybody's talking
I
like
think
they
this.
haven't
I just
seen it
think it's not for
before.
you.
It's fine. It's just when you're telling me something's a 10, something's a masterpiece, I have very high expectations. So
For me, that first half is 9 to 10 range. The second half
there
is
are
just
animation
so
moments that I
bad.
like another thing I think this show does really well is you can tell they didn't have a budget to make sure every scene in the anime looked really good, but when they wanted to pop off, they popped off. They popped off. There's some really great single episode character stories. I love the one with Stark filling in for um that guy's dead son
Yeah,
because they look the
Prince. Yep,
same.
really
Like the
good.
character development in the series is so
When you learn
good
Stark's backstory
when
is
you
really
learn
good.
Stark's backstory. It's really good, but as a show that I was like binging, it made it very hard to want to watch another episode after another because it was just so slow. But you know, I was still having fun. It got to a point where I was watching a lot, and then this is what happened. This is what happened. I planned that episode with Brad. I had to watch Vox Machina, so I had to take a break. I had to watch a break. I had to take a break from Frieren to
Frieren,
watch.
I
yeah.
forgot
I was
about
like,
Vox Machina.
I was like, I gotta watch 18 episodes of that, and I'm struggling. I've been watching this for a few weeks, and I'm not even 8 episodes in. And then I'll tell you what I did. I very easily watched 18 episodes of Vox Machina, and I was like, it's gonna be hard to go back to something like Frieren after after I burned through so many episodes of a show that I was just like, same idea, it's Dungeons and Dragons, just in a different way, and I was just like, this is just more fun. It had a lot of tropey anime things that
Well,
I've
it's not supposed
never
to be
thought
fun,
is.
right?
I don't know. I think when I'm watching something, I should be having fun. I think
I
I should
don't
be
think it's
having a
supposed to be
fun
fun, though.
time.
That's why I kept thinking it's not for you. I don't think it's supposed to be fun.
interesting.
I cried repeatedly.
What were you crying about?
Dude, it's good. Her stuff with Himmel is good. And I know you're like,
Ugh.
oh, time. It is good, man.
It's
It's
good, but
really
they
good.
beat it to death, man. They beat it
Yeah, but
to
the first
death.
14 episodes is not beaten
I
in that
really
same
like
way.
I really like the when you find out about her flower spell at the end, that backstory with Himmel. Don't get
That
me wrong.
stuff is good.
And like I don't even mind the flashbacks. It's just the way they always go to like it's fucking look at those flowers. Himmel like those flowers. Flashback. Oh, look at this statue. Oh, that's a statue of Himmel. Like it's just all it's so much all the time that like at first I was into it and then it just got to
That's
a
the
point
point
where
of the
I
show.
started
It's telling two stories at
rolling
once.
my eyes.
That's the
Yeah.
point of the show.
And there were some times where I thought the second story, like the pack story, I love the backstory stuff. I love when they do those guys. It's just there's a lot of scenes where they waste it. And I'm just like, why did we come back to this right now? Like, why is this important at all right now? But then there are other
I don't know
times
that
where
it's supposed to be. All of them are supposed to be important, right? That's like the cozy part of
but
it.
that's
It's
why I think
supposed to be
I'd
these little slice of life
I
moments.
think I'd
with
like it better
right?
if I read it in a manga because I just feel like it's eating up so much of my time when I'm watching
See,
it and it's
this sounds-
slow. Like it
The
sounds
more I
like
hear this, it sounds like a you issue, not a show issue at times.
well, no, it's my issue I have
Like you
with the
saying that
show.
it's taking too much time.
It's my
It is-
issue I have with the show. I mean, that's
I
art.
understand what you're saying though, that it is a time issue, that it is long.
And
But
like
I just
the
felt more of that with the fucking
it just
certification that they literally say doesn't matter.
no, yeah,
She
no.
literally says this is stupid.
I think it
doesn't
got
matter.
worse by the end. That's the problem. I hate the second half more because that's where I just stopped watching entirely. And like,
But see, for me, I
at
think
least
it'll be good.
at least
once we
every
continue
episode at
on
the beginning,
journey.
I was like, oh yeah, I think once the next, like, I'm gonna watch the next season. I like this show.
January.
I would give this show an 8 out of 10. But it's the fact that like
Raiden, is that what you thought he'd give
It
it?
doesn't sound like it's for me. Yeah.
a 7 at minimum, but it's because people were telling me it was a 10 that I had like, I had like Avatar The Last Airbender has fucking 100% on goddamn Rotten Tomatoes. So, my brain is thinking something kind of like close to that.
It's just very different, though, right? It's very different.
Everything's different. Have you ever watched any anime? They're all fucking different. Like the whole concept
They're really
is
not,
different.
though.
They really are, though.
A lot aren't, though. It's a lot of the
But
same
the problem with
tropes
this
over
one
and
is
over
people are
again.
saying this one's different, and I'm telling you, I've seen it before. Like it's a little different, but I've seen it before. Like an emotional backstory. That's fucking every anime I've ever watched ever. And caring about time. That's every day of my life. Oh yeah, remember when I did that with those people? I get it. And I love seeing it in my media, but when you do it over and over and over, and you also bored me for half of it before we got to those good moments, I'm just like, oh, okay. Gee, like nothing in this whole series made me like get up from my seat. Even when the animation popped off, I would just be like, oh, nice. Good animation now. I like seeing good animation. This is fun. When Stark fights the dragon, I'm like, fuck yeah. Anytime Stark's on the scene. Love that guy. He's the Sokka.
I mean, they really fucked that up.
They
by him
really
not being in half the
dropped him
show.
at the end. And he's the funny.
But maybe
he's the funny.
plan is, though, because he's going to be so involved. I mean, because my big complaint, so where I was so mad is I thought 28 episodes, this is a one-season show. I thought this was like a limited
Oh, you thought it was
series.
one and done.
So imagine
It's an ongoing
when we're doing the
manga.
certification. I didn't know that. So imagine me when they're doing the certification, and I'm like, okay, we're on episode 3 of this now. We only have 8 episodes left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are we doing with our time here?
Yeah.
So I was really, I
When
was
you could
fucking
be
pissed
world
about
building,
that.
because what the show does really well, why I think I'd like it better as reading, for me personally, is there's a lot of world building. It takes its time. It really takes its fucking time, and you are getting to know this world and like how everything works and shit like that. I like that demons can just be bad. There's no like they actually
I
have
love that.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's no
Fuck 'em.
these
Yeah.
things suck. I really enjoyed that little arc. That was a really good time. But yeah, it was around I think episode 19. I just like they were still doing the magic
No,
exam.
dude,
I
that
didn't
is
know why we were
objectively just
doing it,
garbage.
and I just didn't have
I've
fun.
spent a lot of time thinking about that certification, and holy fuck, was it bad?
Because I was
At
just
least
I was
the
just
last
getting
step-
into it. Like by the time that started, I was
Yeah,
like
that's really
excited
tough.
about episodes, and
That's
then we
tough.
hit a wall.
But I like at the end, like at least the last step of it was more in line with like the regular show of like
The last 2 episodes were good again.
they're good. The last 2 episodes were good.
The last 2
That's a
episodes,
fact. But
they
dude,
did stick the
Like
landing.
it's like 17 through 26 could be one episode or like
Mhm.
1.5 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like but it's setting up more for Fern.
It's
and
better when it
Stark
tries
be
to
a
give you
bigger character.
emotional payoffs instead of doing the traditional anime arcs.
But see, here's where I have a complaint in that because the stuff when they are fighting that, like, this is a complaint and a positive. When when
That's
Stark
how I
and
feel about the
Fern are
show.
fighting but when Stark and Fern are fighting that demon with just those two, and they have to, while Frieren goes to fight the other bigger demon,
Yeah.
that is more traditional anime, a lot of action. Dude,
I
that's really good.
I like that.
That's fun
I
shit.
like that stuff a lot.
So
It made the slow build up
so
to it better for
why
it.
exactly? So
Yeah.
why would you change your action from them fighting demons to so for me, I have problems with some classic anime tropes, and they just threw us into the most classic anime trope ever
Mhm.
and adding all these new characters, and now it's person on person versus person on demon, and Stark's gone, and now everyone's doing
I
magic,
think what
and it's
they
just like,
did,
who gives a fuck?
I don't
Like,
know,
who gives a fuck?
because I haven't read past the episodes, but I really do think that was just their way of like, here's some characters. This is our way of throwing characters into our world,
Who needs those characters?
but we won't see them a whole lot from this. Like
Who
they'll
fucking
pop
needs
in
those
every once in a
characters,
while.
though? But who needs them? They have characters
me,
pop
dude.
in and out the whole first half of the show. They had that elven man that they run into, that monk guy,
Mhm.
that, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one they spend the whole winter
Yeah.
with. They spend the whole
Yeah,
winter.
Elf Monk guy. Yeah.
There's a lot of there was also a lot of scenes, and like I didn't mind it, but I also didn't like it, of just like every episode had to have
I
like
thought that episode was bad.
where they're just like
but-
doing, there's no dialogue, they're just like doing stuff to show the passing of time. There's a lot of montage scenes. Once again, too many montage scenes. Like, I get it, too many.
I just would love to know the creative process to decide that we're just going to, like, step on learning what Frieren can do by her fighting herself.
Yeah.
Her fake version of herself. I mean, that is like some of the worst. That's like what I expect my 11-year-old nephew to come up with. I mean, it's that fucking bad. I really think it's that fucking bad. That whole
By that point, I had
And
reached
then-
a point of like whatever about all of it, so I didn't hate it either. I was just like, I gotta get this show done. We're talking about it in a couple
Nah,
days.
it's fucking garbage.
Um,
It's bad. That and everything in that dome was like, and that was like 5 episodes, dude. 6 episodes in that fucking dome.
at least
It's bad.
it took me like a
But I
week or
love the
two to
rest of
just
it.
watch all those episodes.
I love the rest of it.
I did
but
watch
that
a
part,
recap
fuck.
today just to like get it all, because I've been watching it since like January or February, like slowly. So I needed a quick recap. Upon watching the recap, I did find myself being like, which is why I think if I read it, I'd like it more, because it was just like, it was all the stuff I saw just like nice and tight and neatly packaged, and I was like, yeah, it was good. It was good, but I just had so many things going into it where, like, I'm telling you,
That sucks.
after I watched Vox Machina, it was just like, okay, I gotta watch an episode of Frieren today. And like, there'd be some days at work where I'd be like, as I'm playing Final Fantasy, I'm like, I could watch 2 episodes tomorrow. Like, I just don't want to watch it right now. I'm a little tired at work already, so I'm like, I'll fall asleep if I watch an episode of Frieren. I know that, especially by the second half. I don't know. I liked it. I think I will continue watching. I think it'll be much better to either if I read it or if I just continue to watch it week after week instead of trying to watch a lot of episodes at once.
Mm-hmm. Well, so that's a difference too. You have to remember, is I watch it in a very different format than you do.
Like, I
that
wanted
watch
to
with
binge
Tori
it
every now and then.
But by the time an
I don't
episode
binge
ended, I was
shows.
like, I gotta watch something else or do something else, or I'm gonna.
It probably would feel
fall
like it's
asleep.
beating into you if you do try to binge it. That kind of makes sense,
Dude.
but-
Like, you watch 3 episodes in a row. By the time she finds another reason to be like, Himmel, like, think about any friend you have, if they ever just like talk about like something that you weren't a part of, like, all the time you see them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to offend
But it's how
anybody
they're
through
telling
this,
the old
but
story.
like, I've had
no?
friends in the past that be like this, and it's just like nobody involved knows what the fuck you're talking about.
But it's also like a world event there. It's how they killed the
Yeah.
Demon King.
No, don't get me wrong. I think it's the way they go about getting into the flashback. Like, there could be a more natural way for maybe Frieren just to go, but it's always the fact that she has to be like, ha ha ha, Himmel used to say that same thing, and then flash. It's just like, maybe the way of going into it for me could just be better, because it just seems like it's all the time, and the way you transition into them it's too anime. Is the only way I can really put it. It's too just like, it's too on the look at this, look at this, look at this. I know,
On
I
the
know.
nose.
Yes. But I mean, I didn't hate it either. It just was too much. That restaurant thing. But by the restaurant thing, I was just like, because there would be people like in these flashbacks that would talk like so specifically, like, in 80 years, I'll be like this. Like, are you going to be like, they would talk about these massive amounts of time as if people in real life actually fucking talk like that. And it's just like, no, it just makes sense for this story because we're following an elf who doesn't age and has been around for 1,000 years. And like, she's the only one that can be impacted by these events. But I like the idea of her like finding humanity. Like it's that makes her a cool character. She's feeling these emotions because after spending all this time with humans, she's just like, are those motherfuckers rubbing off on me?
But and part of what makes her such a cool character, though, that we haven't mentioned, is that
I need
she
to watch it in
also is a
Japanese
part.
too, I think.
She's a part of like what they make it seem to be the greatest historical event that has ever occurred,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
didn't give a single fuck.
No fucks.
I mean, that's pretty important.
She's like,
That's
who
like why
cares?
these flashbacks
I'm an
matter
elf.
to me, is that she literally didn't care.
Yeah.
Himmel the Hero is like the most famous person in the world,
Yeah.
and she was next to him every day and didn't give a fuck and
Mhm.
didn't realize that he was special or important.
Mhm.
So that's why these little flashbacks to everything he does are good
And
for me.
when I think the flashbacks are good, I think they're really good. But I don't need to see everything he does. Everything he does. Like we're just shy of them being like, oh, I smell shit, and she'd be like Himmel shit sometimes. And then we
But
get a
so much
flashback of
it
him
is, like,
taking a
little
shit. And
stuff,
I'm like,
even like her teaching Stark, or like you learning, like, oh, this is why Stark's kind of cool, is because he's got that Himmel in him, and he's doing little things every day. For,
yeah,
like, common
and I
person,
like that.
stuff like
Those are
that.
good parts. Those are good parts. I
So
like
what? So what
Himmel.
other flashbacks are really bad other than the restaurant?
Oh
one
my
that you
god,
can
dude!
think of?
I don't know because, like I said, I've been watching this
I can
for
think of one.
months. A lot of the opening ones, like
There's a
lot
sheep
of
crossing one that could have been skipped, but the sheep crossing one is like Himmel saying, "Hey, part
Hey.
of our journey is going to be little mundane stuff to help people."
I'm glad that you and lots of other people are finding just a lot in those little moments because I
No.
just
Listen,
don't.
Chase, I'm not arguing with you. I'm trying to bring you into it, like you did to
Oh,
me
no.
on the end of Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah, I know, but I don't think my mind
trying
can
to
be
bring you
changed
in.
on
I'm
this.
trying to bring you
but I
in.
am saying I'm glad people do like those things because I maybe it's because I just don't. I have a lot of things I want to do, so like I just don't have time for these little moments in an anime. I don't know.
The clone thing would piss me off.
Yeah.
The clone thing was fucking horrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was really dumb.
And it gets really boring before that. Like that part was supposed to be when you thought the fucking exam was gonna get fun, and then it didn't.
Uh-oh.
Hope he
And
froze.
that's the.
Are you losing him?
Oh wait.
You wait. We'll sync up again in a second. Hold on.
I didn't say much, so.
You were just saying that was supposed to be a big build-up moment.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying
Yes.
how like the fight with the clones was supposed to be like the payoff for the slowness of the whole arc
It's
up until then,
horrible.
and it didn't really. Like the final fight stuff was fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. It just didn't seem like it
I don't
paid.
even agree with that.
It didn't pay off. It was fun to look at. It just didn't pay
It
off.
was fun to look at.
Yeah, it was nice to look at.
But think about how much they're building up, like, this little stuff that you're like, damn, this bitch is like is really that good. Like,
Mhm.
she's really that strong
Yeah.
with how nonchalant she is. And the way, and I'm thinking that for seasons, now that I realize, okay, we've got multiple seasons here,
Yeah,
that you're slowly going to learn more and more what she's capable of, which would be cool, right? Like, that's a neat way to go about it, that you never really know everything she can do.
I think I might
And-
start reading it honestly.
And what did they do? They made a version of her that has no emotions, no feelings, doesn't give a shit, and watch her go nuclear for a minute. And that's how you learn what she's capable of. Okay. Because they say that these clones will do anything to kill you.
Yeah.
They hold no reserves. So okay.
Yeah.
How fucking dumb is that?
Yeah,
On top of all these other characters fighting themselves, that I already don't care about the characters themselves.
Right.
I don't care about them fighting themselves.
and they're
for
not bad
sure.
characters either. Like they're all good. Like they write great characters. I just don't care. I just don't.
Those people,
Yeah.
especially, I don't give a shit about, and they don't give you a reason to give a shit about.
Especially when you got rid of my favorite character too. So
At least the old man they do better with as it goes. You know, I think I think by the end I care like 1% about the old man and the white coat guy, but
Okay.
otherwise,
Yeah.
like
That's fair.
1%. I mean, that's it. The rest of them, if they never show up in the show again, I'm like, oh, at least they changed their mind.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the homicidal one. Like, who gives a shit about her?
Mhm.
Who gives a shit about the duplicate
She'll be
guy?
back though, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but who gives a shit?
I
Like, and when she's back, I
not
won't
me,
give a shit
man.
about
I'll
that
tell you
either.
what. This is where we agree. I was like whatever about the end. I think I'm just
But
excited for
Stark is
what
great.
comes next. Stark's great, dude. He's
Stark's
a
great,
great character. I have so much fun from the beginning to even when he shows up after he's been gone for a while.
And
I'm like, this
I'm
guy's
excited for them to meet back up with their priest of their group.
right. I
That'll
was so
happen. That'll be
bummed.
fun.
Oh yeah, he has to come back. So there's this middle
I was like,
period.
there's no way they're gonna separate
There's
them,
this
right?
middle period, Braden, where they get their priest character to join them, and that you do like 2 whole episodes of getting to know this guy and like have him join their party. And then like an episode or 2 later, he's like, "We're going in the different directions. I gotta go. Peace
See
out."
ya.
But they also do a whole episode of him being like, "I'm gonna stay." Like they present you with all the reasons why he's gonna stick with the group, and then he dips. And I'm like, "What the fuck was all that
Really
about?"
silly.
So I imagine he will be back, but it
He'll be
was
back.
it
He's
was
gonna be the
odd for
party's
him.
priest.
He has to be, otherwise I don't know
It's
what
too
the
early
fuck.
for him.
I mean, the story is gonna be that he's dead, right? His friend's dead, and that he's gonna go to heaven with them to see him, right?
That would make the goal that the modern day people are going toward is they're going to where the Demon King's castle used to be, because that's where like heaven basically is now. Like you can communicate with dead
Oh.
people. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think that'll be
the
good
premise
when
is
it
really cool.
happens.
The journey, it's called Frieren Beyond Journey's End because like their original journey, which you're learning through the flashbacks,
Yeah.
is the original journey, and then this is the Beyond
The main
Journey's End
story
journey.
is just the epilogue of this bigger story.
Yeah, and
Dude, that's an interesting way to write a story, though.
It is.
Yeah.
That is unique.
it is you, but like I
For me,
said,
Interesting,
in my
but is it
world.
they
good?
did it in Monarch
I
and
think it's
Godzilla,
good,
so like
but-
I've seen it before, but I like it. It's a story. It's a way of storytelling that I do like, and I think I am going to try to read a couple chapters of it and see if I'll appreciate it more manga wise. I think some of the issues I also had was I might watch it in Japanese because like the voice actor for Frieren wasn't really working for me. I think on top of all the somberness, her just like whatever voice all the time it also made me tired to listen to. And I watched a little bit of
You
it in
weren't fearing
Japanese,
it.
and she just had like a normal, like kind of like an elfy, young elf sounding voice. Whereas this lady, you can tell it's like a 50-year-old fucking woman talking just
Yeah.
sad all the time. So I'm just like, and then she tries to be cute from time to time, and it doesn't work because she's just been so sad all the time. And I'm like,
That part's
her
weird.
funny moments suck, and I'm just like, I think I could think this was better if I liked the sound of her better.
What do you think about Fern?
I think Fern's a cool character. I think she's a cool
Yeah.
character. She's super strong. They're
too.
clearly building her up to be like a really powerful mage.
Yeah.
Her and Stark's relationship is
I
really
love the
fun.
idea. I love the idea that it's becoming like the world of humans now in the magic
Yeah.
world versus
Yeah.
they talk about that. I think that's going to
Seen that
trans-
trend
develop
before.
That transition for sure. Yeah.
Well, everything's been
Lord of the
done
Rings.
before.
Straight out of Lord of
I
the
mean,
Rings.
we said
Yeah.
Aragon.
Lord of the Rings, anyone?
We're saying my book copy from Aragon. Aragon copied from Ursula K. Le Guin.
Sure.
Most things have been done before.
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Original
it's-
ideas don't really exist anymore. It's all
No.
There's very few
derivative
of them.
something.
Yeah.
There's
So
very few
this
of
one
them.
exceeds by like going about things we've seen before and trying to do things more its own style, and I think sometimes it works, but I think other times for me personally
But
it
I would
doesn't.
assume that's why people like it so much is because at least there is some uniqueness to it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that's why
it's certainly
people
its
love
own
it.
thing, but I don't know if it's always my thing. Especially when you call it a masterpiece, especially when I've seen multiple people talking about it on masterpiece level, and I'm just like, I will give it pretty decent anime level so far. Like masterpiece, we're a long way from masterpiece. I've been watching anime for a very long time, and we're a long way from masterpiece.
I'm interested if they like one thing I don't know how I feel about it or if I care or if they're going to continue on that like there is this imperial mage system. They kind of talk about that a lot more and
Probably.
how that other elf that was her master's master
Mm-hmm.
like created that system.
Yeah.
like they kind of spend a little bit of time on that, and I'm confused as to if that's going to matter in the future. Because if not, why the fuck does it? Like, why is it there?
I'm
Do you know
sure.
what I'm
I'm
talking? Do you
sure
know
it
what I'm talking
will,
about?
and that's part of the world building that I think it does well. Like we felt like we spent a lot of time in this, and we did. But I'm sure they'll give us. It's going to be important later on for at least little things here and there. They've
Yeah,
created an
I just
interesting realm that the story is taking place in. And I think it has that it vibes, and I bet I know why you like it as much as you do because I see it in myself with it. It reminds me of Wheel of Time in a lot of the way that it's presented
I love
sometimes.
I just love a pure journey. Like
Yeah.
we're just journeying. I
Mhm.
love that, and that's
Mhm.
where it sinks me in.
Mhm.
And it's like you're telling me two at once. Fuck yeah, dude!
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
And I love Himmel.
I like Himmel too. I really do. I wish the show wasn't always trying to make me be annoyed by him showing up though with the ways they decide to take me to see him. That's all. That's
I,
all.
I think we'll get more to like hopefully action scenes from that time. I think that would be good
I'm gonna read
too
the
to
next
see.
arc, and then I'll let you know if I liked it or not, and I'll decide from that
Okay,
point if I'm
so
gonna read it or if I'm gonna keep watching it. Because I think when it pops up animation style, it goes hardcore. It's really good. And if I most of the mangas I read, if I read the manga, I probably don't watch the anime, and I'll just watch the anime for the cool scenes. And that's what I'll do for Frieren because I'm like, when they do the cool scenes, they do spend their budget on them. And that's how I'll experience it because I like the characters. I like the idea of the story enough. And I think if I like read it in manga format, I think I would just have a better time with it. I don't start an episode going, this is going to take me 25 minutes no matter what. Instead, it's like, how many chapters could I read in 25 minutes? Probably more than what an episode will give me.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So that is Frieren Beyond
I can't
Journey's
believe
End,
you
man.
said after all that it was 7 or 8, Braden. I was thinking 3 based off his tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a 7 or 8.
Yeah, 7 or because like I said,
Maybe like a
I did
6.
start this with I liked it. It's just I couldn't I when people tell me something's a 10 right out the gate and a masterpiece, well, I'm looking for that the whole time, just being like, after like 6 episodes of me being like, where's the masterpiece coming? It started wearing on me, but I still liked it. It's just I don't know, 7 or 8 episodes into a lot of other shows I've watched, I've been more like, oh shit,
I
this is
will say
good.
I am very excited for the second season. Like I will be fucking
I'm
pumped when it
excited to
comes
see
out.
where it goes.
Yeah.
I need
So now I need
some.
another anime to watch. I need something new. I don't know what though.
I'll think of something for you. Give you
I
an
know.
idea.
I
But
know something I can
yeah,
talk about on here.
7, 8 out of 10 for your for me personally. Which
For me,
yeah, for you,
first half,
you loved it.
10.
10
Second half, 4.
for a start. For a start to a series, I agree. I think that first 13 episodes is a very good, if not slow. But slow isn't even a bad thing. It just is slow at
No.
times, and
Yeah, it is.
yeah, it deserves a 9 or a 10. But you're right. The other half really made it start feeling like it made it feel like
The
a
dome,
journey, like how a journey would actually feel in real life.
the dome is a 2. The labyrinth is like a 4.
Yeah.
And then after that it's good again. But
That's like an
oh
episode.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But my god, it was that bad.
But you know what, Jake? I'm glad we watched it. It was fun to have this collaboration series that we've been working through this whole period that
I
we've been
know. I
planning
want to
for
keep
it.
trying it.
Yeah,
I think it was fun.
dude, I'm telling you, if I can work my way through this, I can work my way through anything. Yeah. Yeah. So Braden, I don't know if any of this did anything for you, if you're gonna check it out or not.
I'll probably check
should.
out
I
Devil
think you
May
should.
Cry.
It
is
Probably
worth
not to
watching.
pick up Frieren for a while.
I think you should listen to Jake more than you should listen to me because I will admit I am the odd man out from everything I've
It's
seen.
not
And watch it
something
with
that
your
I would
girlfriend.
completely deny, but it does sound like there are things that
I wouldn't watch it
don't
at night.
like in
I'll
media.
tell you that much.
Actually, I would. It'll slowly put you to bed eventually.
It'll put you
But
to bed for sure.
I would watch it with your girlfriend. I would recommend. I think a lot of women, this one resonates with them, I would guess.
Well, there are YouTube essays popping up on cozy fantasy stuff now, so that's how you know it's a trend.
Mhm.
I fucking hate cozy fantasy generally. I'd like it to be
Yeah.
known.
I don't know much about that.
Travis
but
Balder's fucking up the entire game with it, but We can do an
Yep,
episode on
it's
how
in
much I
books
hate that
now. It's
motherfucker
in
too.
Yeah, I don't know.
shows.
I don't know much about that at
Legends
all.
of Lattes, you definitely have that on the van.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, Bone. Yeah, it's just stupid shit,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But people love that book.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway,
yeah, no, yeah, that's it though. I mean, that's all I had.
what a
Yeah.
discussion.
What a discuss. I think discussions need to be a little back and forth. It's good when we all agree with things, but like I think sometimes it's fun to like bounce ideas.
Well, there were problems with it, so it's fair.
Yeah. I don't think it's the. I think sometimes my negatives they hit me a little harder because of my expectations, but I still think it's a good show. I hope I
Your
didn't
negatives are
offend
also
any.
much nicer than mine.
Yeah. You when you
Yeah,
go
let's be
hard,
clear.
you
You're
went
like,
pretty hard
you're
there.
like, yeah, I didn't love this part, and I'm like, no, this is fucking trash.
Right. See,
So I think you're fine.
yeah. And whereas like you were like, I love the beginning, and I was like, I liked it, and you're like, why don't you love it? I'm like, I still liked it, man.
I wanted you to love
I
it.
just
That's
don't
why.
love it. I
wanted you
appreciate
to
it. I
love
think
it.
it's a good start. As far as starts go, it's fine. It's just after the start, you need to kind of get moving, and they didn't get moving, and I was like, well, ugh.